And welcome to Decluttering Week Part 5. Let's talk about DVDs. DVDs can be difficult to deal with. These days, a lot of people don't actually have DVDs anymore. They rely solely on services like Netflix or Amazon Prime, or they have everything copied onto USB discs. So the DVDs are really just a backup, which makes it all the more simple to let go of them if you really want to. However, selling DVDs has become a bit of a tricky business because most people, like I said, rely on online services. They don't want the physical DVDs in their homes, which means that if you even manage to find a buyer for your DVDs, they will not pay premium money for it, but just the absolute necessary minimum. I've had DVDs that I got offers of 5 pence for, which is ridiculous, but better than nothing at the end. Now, my personal experience with DVDs is very easy. I moved 3 years ago, and I can easily go into my collection of DVDs and determine which of those films I've actually watched in the last 3 years, because I can tell. And it didn't really come as a surprise to me that I had an awful lot of DVDs that I haven't watched in the last 3 years, which made it relatively simple to look at them from a slightly non-emotional point. I had 2 types of DVDs. I've got the single movies, the feature films, and I've got box sets. Box sets correspond more to the way I'm watching films these days. I used to be a feature movie person, but I find myself more attracted to series these days, like many people. So keeping the box sets was a no-brainer. For the other movies, I simply decided which ones I have watched in the last 3 years, which were likely to stay, and the ones that I haven't watched since I moved, which were a bit more tricky to look at because I had to determine if there was something that made me want to keep them. And in some cases there was. Typical reasons for keeping things, in my case, are rarity of the films and sentimental attachment to the content. I had to be very careful to separate the ones that I only kept out of habit. And that was the first series of films to go. The ones that were rare and I would be unlikely to replace had a special place as well, even though I discarded a couple of those. The last set of the films that I wasn't quite sure about, I looked at very closely and determined if they spoke to me or not. The ones that didn't speak to me went to the discard pile, and the others ended up in the keep pile. And that left me with 4 videos that I actually hadn't watched at all. So those I will watch and then decide. This being said, for me, DVDs was a simple matter to deal with. For other people who are more attached to the DVDs, the artwork, the additional stuff that comes with DVDs, this might be a much more difficult thing to do. I invite you to give your DVDs a once-over. I'm not saying you should discard anything, but look at them from a non-sentimental point of view. Just look at what they mean to you and what each of them means to you. It's helpful to take them out of their shelf, but you don't necessarily have to. Stay clutter aware, have a good end of the week, and come back for more. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel, or select the playlist in the middle to see more content, or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.